Friends, in the previous part, we saw that Kate escaped to an old church trying to survive the terrifying shadow. There, an old priest revealed that the entity was not a normal ghost, but a dark force created from human fear itself. Before the priest could explain everything, the black shadow dragged him into the darkness. In the end, Kate saw a live video on her phone where someone was secretly recording her, and standing directly behind her was the same tall, dark figure. Now the story continues. Kate's entire body was shaking. Slowly, she tried to turn around, but before she could move, all the candles inside the church suddenly went out at the same time. The entire church drowned in darkness. For a few seconds, the only sound she could hear was her own breathing. Then suddenly a whisper came directly beside her ear. "Now you are not alone!" Kate screamed and jumped backward. She immediately turned on her phone flashlight, but there was nothing there. The church looked empty, but then she noticed wet footprints appearing on the floor. The footprints were slowly moving toward her as if something invisible was walking closer. Kate stepped backward in fear. Her hands were trembling. Suddenly, words started appearing in blood across the church wall. "Don't let it touch you." Kate froze in terror. Suddenly, the giant church bell above her started ringing on its own. Bong, bong, bong. The sound was so loud the entire church began shaking. At the same moment, multiple faces slowly appeared inside the darkness. They were all the people who had disappeared during the past few days. Their skin looked pale and their eyes were completely black. Every single one of them was staring directly at Kate. Then all of them slowly started smiling together. Kate screamed and ran outside the church. Heavy rain was falling harder than before. The streets were completely empty, but she constantly felt someone running behind her. Thump, thump, thump. The footsteps kept getting closer every second. Kate turned around, but nobody was there. Then suddenly she saw Lily standing in the middle of the road. Rain covered her body. Her long hair hung across her face and her eyes were completely black. But this time she was not smiling. She looked terrified. Lily whispered in a trembling voice, "Kate, run. It is no longer inside me." Before Kate could react, an invisible force suddenly dragged Lily backward across the road. Her body violently scraped against the ground while she screamed in terror. Kate ran toward her, but suddenly every streetlight shut off at the same time. Darkness swallowed the entire street. Then, inside the darkness, two glowing white eyes appeared. They were not human eyes. They floated unnaturally high above the ground as if an impossibly tall creature was standing there watching her. Slowly, the thing stepped forward. Through the rain, its body became visible. Its entire form looked like black smoke, but its arms were unnaturally long and its fingers almost touched the ground. Its face contained nothing except a giant dark hole where a mouth should have been. Kate stepped backward in horror. Suddenly, her phone turned on by itself. A black and white photograph appeared on the screen. The photo showed the same church, but dozens of people stood outside it. In the middle of the crowd, a little girl was tied with ropes. Then a voice came from the phone. This is where it started. Suddenly, sharp pain exploded inside Kate's head. Strange images flashed through her mind. She saw people from the city burning a little girl alive many years ago. The girl screamed and cried while everyone watched without helping her. Before dying, she looked at them and whispered, "I will return through your fear." Suddenly, Kate opened her eyes again. She was back on the empty road. Lily was gone. The creature was gone. Everything was silent. Then another notification appeared on her phone. This time there was only an address written on the screen, and beneath it one sentence appeared. "If you want the truth, come here." Kate stared at the screen for several seconds. She now understood this nightmare was far from over. The real horror had only just begun. The next night at exactly 2:46 a.m., Kate arrived at the address. It was an abandoned mental hospital outside the city. The building looked burned and broken. Every window was shattered. Strange whispers echoed from inside. Kate slowly stepped through the entrance. Dust covered every hallway and old bloodstains marked the walls. Then she noticed large words written across one wall. She never left. Suddenly, loud running footsteps echoed from the upper floor. Thump, thump, thump. Kate pointed her flashlight upstairs but saw only darkness. Then suddenly she heard the laughter of a little girl. The sound echoed through the entire hospital. Kate's heart pounded violently. Then a soft voice whispered directly behind her, "You came too late." Kate quickly turned around and screamed. Standing behind her was a little girl. Her face was horribly burned and her eyes were completely black. But the most terrifying part was that she was not smiling. She was crying. Then she slowly whispered, "Now it will never let you go." Suddenly, the main hospital doors slammed shut by themselves, and the sound of something running violently through the building echoed all around her.